I'm going to tell you right now that this is not a story you're going to forget. I'd like to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, David Blair.
There was a story written more than 200 years ago by Manuel Schikaneder and Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart called Die Zauberflöte, or the Magic Flute. In Act 1, Scene 1 of this incredible story, the hero of the story, Prince Tamino, is presented with this picture of somebody he's never met before. But when he sees it, he instantly falls in love. He feels a feeling so passionate and so deep that he's never felt it before. It's hard to put words to it. He feels this passion that would drive him to the ends of the earth and back in support of this person. This becomes his picture of purpose. And he sings about this feeling in Das Bildnis ist bezaubertschön. Dies Bildnis ist bezaubernd schön, wie noch kein Auge je gesehen. Ich fühl es, wie das Götterbild. Mein Herz mit neuer Regung füllt, mein Herz mit neuer Regung füllt. Dies etwas kann ich schwar nix nennen, doch fühl ich sie wie Feuer brennen. Soll die Empfindung Liebe sein, soll die Empfindung Liebe sein. Ja, ja, die Liebe ist allein. Die Liebe, die Liebe, die Liebe ist allein. He sings this picture is so enchantingly lovely, like no eye has ever seen. It burns inside of me like a fire. Could this feeling be love? Yes, it is love alone. Now, like life often does, I was presented a new perspective to this aria when in the fall of 2019, my wife and I were presented with our picture of purpose. This ultrasound of our son, Levi pilot Blair. Even looking at it now, I can still feel, much like Tamino, that passionate feeling of, my goodness, I love this person and I've never met them. I don't know anything about them. I don't know who they'll become. I don't know what experiences we'll have together, but I love them. I would go to the ends of the earth and back. I would confront amazing beasts in order to ensure his safety. Little did I know that I would be put to that test. Now, it was, of course, during the pandemic when my wife and I were told that, of course, we couldn't both necessarily attend all of our doctor's visits because of the obvious nature of the pandemic. And we were told in one of our regular routine visits that our son, this picture of purpose that I hold would be born with a significantly large hole in his heart, otherwise known as a VSD. Now, we were told there was a chance he might have to undergo open heart surgery, but we were hopeful. We were certainly hopeful. But we were scared. And we felt a little bit alone. Oh, wenn sie doch schon vor mir stünde, oh, wenn sie doch schon vor mir stünde, ich würde warm und rein, was würde ich? Oh, if only she were here with me now. Oh, if only I could hold her. I'd be warm and pure. What would I do? So Levi was born on May 27th of 2020, and after 4 days in the NICU, he was able to come home with mom and dad. Unfortunately, with him also came that hole in his heart. We would have to go back and forth between hospital visits from then on, bringing our little son one at a time into a doctor's visit, the other one waiting patiently in the car while we just wait for some news on what's going on, what's happening as we're visiting pediatric cardiologists and trying to figure out what was going to happen. And I remember, again, during the height of the pandemic, sitting alone in the doctor's office, alone except with my then 5-month-old son, Levi, wearing nothing but an infant hospital gown that was many sizes too big for him, when the doctor came in and told me, you have 2 choices. We either undergo open heart surgery or your son's heart continues to fail. There are no words a new father ever wants to hear. And it was so hard. It was so hard to go back into the car to let my wife know exactly what he'd said. And that within 1 month time, we would be going to Children's Hospital Los Angeles for an open heart surgery on her then 6-month-old little boy, who otherwise was seemingly perfect. In fact, he didn't really act sick. He didn't really look sick, so it was almost like you just wanted to wake up and believe it wasn't true. This couldn't be about our son, Levi. We were presented with our first major leg of this incredible journey that we were going on when the hospital told us that they'd like us to host a blood drive. Now again, this is a blood drive at Children's Hospital Los Angeles during a pandemic when many of our friends and family and people we knew were too uncomfortable to even go and visit, or too uncomfortable to even go and grocery shop, let alone go to a hospital where sick people are to give blood. So this seemed like an impossible task for us. But like any good parents, we dutifully promoted this blood drive. We promoted it on social media. We promoted it to friends and family. We just let them know. And we got the response we expected. We got people telling us, our heart breaks for you. We'll be praying for Levi. Please keep us in the loop. Let us know how we can support. And that should have been enough for us. And it was. And all of those responses were met with these little bracelets that say, Levi Pilot Strong. Hashtag Levi Pilot Strong. We'd send them out to people as they were praying for Levi, as they were keeping our family in their thoughts and their prayers, as they were caring for Levi, as they were sharing it with their friends and family on social media. But we certainly felt like this task of having a blood drive to ensure that we have the necessary blood for our son's multiple blood transfusions he would have to undergo during the surgery would be sufficient. And then we got the most incredible news. I walked in on the very last day of the blood drive to give blood myself. I wanted to, I don't know, symbolically, I wanted to be the last one to give blood. And when I walked in, I told the gentleman at the desk that I was there for Levi. And he kind of laughed and he said, "That's a popular kid." Well, I'm sure there's other Levi pilot Blairs, right? That's a very common name. No. No, it was our Levi. The man at the front told me that this is their most successful blood drive they've ever had. We had people drive out from San Diego. We had people driving from north of Los Angeles. We had people driving out from Bakersfield to give blood in one location because of our picture of purpose became their picture of purpose. This was a boy they had never met before. They'd only seen on social media. In fact, many of these people were only connected to me through LinkedIn or on Facebook or any number of the social media channels I used to promote this blood drive. These were people I hadn't met, but they loved our son enough to go out and give their blood to ensure his safety. I was touched, I was moved, I felt like while we were working to heal Levi's heart, my heart was being healed when my faith in humanity was being restored. It was an incredible gift for our family, just to know that people did this for us. Ich würde sie, soll eine Künte, ein diesen heißen Busen drücken. Und ewig wäre sie dann mein. Und ewig wäre sie dann mein. Und ewig wäre sie dann mein, ewig wäre sie dann mein, ewig wäre sie dann mein. His heart was healed. Every year we celebrate not just his birthday, but we celebrate what we call his heart anniversary, which was the day that they restored our son, the day they filled his heart, and the day they filled my heart and my family's heart. And I always think when I look at his beautiful scar down his chest, I always think about all the people and all the blood that flows into his body and what that blood represents and who that blood represents. And I think of all the people who became a part of our story, people who will one day forget possibly about what they did and that they were heroes. But I will never forget. I will never let Levi forget what people did because he was that picture of purpose. And I hope all of you have a picture of purpose. And I hope all of you remember your role, your responsibility, and your ability to be a hero in somebody's life. And it can be something as small as just going and giving blood. Thank you.